डबल टैप कर दो यार गाइस, डबल टैप कर दो, डबल टैप।
Mari ka na ito sila mga mo, di ka ba? Saba, Jigi? Wala nang banda naman eh. Dito ba? Ha?
अझै 14 मिनेट बाँकी छ।
एकछिन नि जेमा माछा पकड्ने किता न ल्याउनु।
Seeing through the windows. For Frigsbro, if they can keep this up, get that nice hot hand going early, Blank, you're already about halfway there, man. Just keep working on this, keep farming up the elims. We've got a long game ahead of us. We're only 6 minutes into this game 1 on Rondo. It'd be the dream scenario to start the day. Climb as high as you can.
The arena moving over towards FURIA. Forward, Tony K will ascend. Bullet's been splashed against the wall there. Zayala sends down, Pen pulled. Zayala's going to make it confusing, make it difficult. Pen's put back in again. Two players do step up to the plate now for FURIA. The reinforcements are in, isolated, no more. Joker and Tony K will have to fight for their lives.
Close quarters combat. Nay pulled, bounced round. Not going to deal any damage though onto the FURIA squad. They know how to play in these sort of lobbies with this much pressure. With Smash looming over them. They can dig their heels in deep and start to stand strong. But it's one step at a time, being exchanged between the two.
Kind of an interesting. Was Testract and Neox, very dangerous area to be in. So again for EARENA, you do have Schweppes as well as Mormon in the backlines and Stadium. They're waiting, poised, because they're sort of certain this fight is not going to go well. Require a bit of a sick play. It's a couple of plays from Tony K and Joker to get this working.
He's just been arming that nade, waiting for an opportunity to get the most out of it. Yeah, quick head count on the util. He's only got 2 nades and the 1 Molotov in the back pocket. FURIA starting to clear out the building. They want to go flop.
As well. You do have a player down in the dirt. Looking to get him rest back up again, but NONGSHIM with a pretty decent injection on that northern side. Gives him a lot of maneuverability. A lot of capability to actually keep on the northern edge they so wish. Maintain control of some of that higher ground, some of those roads that teams will want to cross back into. Keep on back up again, but NONGSHIM.
And it's almost poetic. It's been. They were in 8th place. I believe 61 eliminations over the course of the finals. Up to that point, they were in a pretty good form when it came to fighting. They've just got to maintain that pressure. Two elims here. We've got the rotate coming over from AURORA. FURIA out of the mix early though, Blank. And that's not what we expected to see.
Godlike though, 10 eliminations. You can only imagine that full squad wipe over towards FURIA came through from Godlike with a small assist from 4thRISE. Yeah, Godlike certainly trying to put their name on the map today, but it feels a little late for them. At 67 points, they can earn those big rankings today. Grab some more cash on board, a bit more pride for the country as well. Overall, really big step up in that last day, which is why I was saying on day one, you got to give these boys time. It's their first time at an international here at Pmwc, so realistically, they just needed a little bit of acclimation, essentially. And once that was done, they looked pretty damn good going in towards the later portions of yesterday and already starting out strong here on the first game of the day. Circle continues to center up around Mayran. S2G controlling a very, very good spot. It has been good control over the center for S2G throughout the majority of games. Some very good rotates. I mean, Solte's been in the game such a long time at this point. And that veteran mindset is really coming into play here, where he's seen a lot of these circles before. He's seen a lot of these rotates. And he can really lead the team to victory. Yes, some of the
As well, so certainly armed for some good fights. Talking of which, AURORA getting line of sight over onto the Vitality migration as they wanted to make a move straight past. Few shots on target, resulting in them going down to a 3-man squadron. And it's HORAA that also have a similar flight path back over towards the zone. I'm curious as well, bro, the push down from NONGSHIM REDFORCE, Thunderfooted their early. I'm saying the consistency, the fact they've turned on this aggression, they're willing to position out Blank.
playing outside of Brand, hold up teams on the outer edge. The outer edge. But they don't get themselves too stuck into main.
अरे के टाइप हुन्छ यार यार सबले सेयर हान्ने भएन लाइभ सेयर हान्दै गाइस अझै 10 मिनेट बाँकी छ गेम सुरु हुन सेयर हानुन् अनलाइन भाइहरु सबले हान्दिने गाइस मतलब भएन चाहिँ भयो नि यति रहेछ ए बाट आउने अब बी बाट आउने सर्च फर बी बक्सर भाइ नानो बक्सर भाइलाई हेर्दै नानो त्यो बी लताल नानो टेक बहादुर बुद्ध यसलाई हान्दिनु बरु भर्खर गरी 3 लाइक्स 2 भ्युज देखाइरहेछ त 17 मिनेट भयो हैन भर्खर गरी 3 लाइक्स 2 भ्युज देखाइरहेछ त 17 मिनेट भयो हैन कहाँ गयो हाम्रो लाइभ स्ट्रिम यहाँ छ त गाइस
Some more nades available, more ammo. They could away getting thrown a bone here, but still they have 3 players. They have not full force. Let's see how they play this now.
Battles on the whole map here. Edge coming out of the blue and keeping shots on target. It's worked out slightly worse for Ulf, down to a duo, but we do say goodbye to Solk on S2G, so a triple threat remains there. Fighting over from NONGSHIM to OG inside Mehran as well. They were taking pot shots at them, so a 3-man squad living on amongst that. And 4-5 consistently keeping their head on a swivel as well. They were peppering bullets over to the EARENA encounter with Godlike. Yes, they got some knocks, but none of those converted into points.
S2G desperately trying to make the cross right now. A couple of shots, but the vehicle, it is very low HP, smoking now and on fire. They have to get out, but they're just about in the zone. Same can't be said for Ulf there, but ALULA is going to continue to put the hurt on. NIGMA Galaxy wanted to move around on that eastern side, see what they could pick up, but all those points have been dashed away. Still a 5-pointer on the game with the 3 players that NIGMA Galaxy hold. They're on the other side to EARENA. I like this though, actually. They've got Joker as well as Schweppes playing the northwest edge whilst Mormon holds down the compound. They're looking for exit frags here, Jackie.
See the conversations there between S2G. It's an intense day. Got to clear the bag instantly off the back of a game 1 like that. Mormon did set himself up just as you suspected early, and then have played a little bit more of a scouting play to keep themselves at least aware of what's occurring up between the setup of 4-5s and OG. There's been a lot of noise, a lot of free info from that.
Don't mind this too much. Just trying to create a little bit of a dip to play around as players will attempt to leave from Mehran. That's OG on the north side. Likely first to leave. It's a gamble play, but they know they're close now. They know they're close. As soon as they start getting into those placement points, they get a couple more eliminations. They're set. Their goal in this game was far easier than most. Not looking for that chicken dinner, man. Back up into Mayran. Goodness me, we went back down south, back up north, and now Schweppes has got to go pick up Mormon. Plays up by the roadside. Not definite this ends in the urban area. NIGMA Galaxy might want to make a send soon. OG loses one on a knock. Not flush though.
नेट नजाली छन्
Thrive's looking fantastic right now this game. 11 eliminations, holding a strong 2-2 split inside of Mayran, controlling both the run out from OG and scouting towards NONGSHIM.
With NIGMA turning their attention onto Flash, you can see Schweppes had already identified their setup far over. He was waiting for an opportunity to actually shoot some bullets their way. That was the call for it. No raw connection from this. Those spots to town on the rotate with the vehicle as well. Still debating if he can actually get some pot shots here, trusting in his source from distance. And this is also amongst ALULA that are pushing up onto 4-5. They knew they were fighting OG. They took a few pot shots, but now Quick's trying to take at least a little bit more aggressive space off them.
Struggle position. EARENA can play very slow here. They don't have to peek too much. Ralph already down there. Should go down to the play zone. NIGMA Galaxy is going to try and go for that southern push on this one. Like you said, Schweppes identified their position very early. The shots are coming through. They don't want these points to be stolen from the players inside of Mayran. Schweppes over. Gonna be long grenades on this one though, Jackie.
Decent shark, that one might be good. Bounces into the back, it's chip damage, but no conversion. Ooh, bursting just in front of Satan. They've got one smoke to try and pop. Hey, this is dastardly. You are trapped in a hellish position whilst the other squads are scrapping through each other, so the lobby's starting to thin here.
It's tempting for EARENA just to push this. Getting in towards 6th place, right? Very close at that point with 2 eliminations. You could just sack your game here to go for it. Joker's going to try and get a different angle on this one, move up over towards Mormon, put some more emphasis over towards Mayran. If we go a little bit further south here, the game actually does open up for EARENA mainly. 4thRISE also have a good capability of leaving from this area. Wonder how many vehicles they've still got left with the tires in play. Yasser will take down Bozy, and that's the end of Flash. I mean, NONGSHIM REDFORCE has been consistently peppering that engagement, but it is ALULA who's got away with the majority of the points on that one with 11.
Yeah, there's been a lot of harassment of all of these squads from NONGSHIM and 4-5s, consistently taking pot shots out, making the fights more uncomfortable for either team involved. For EARENA, if NONGSHIM actually keep this up in terms of a safe placement in the zone, some big plays, you might need to shut them down. Going to pull slightly away from their setup, though, centering up around the 4-5's crew of EARENA, knowing they can advance a little bit on this.
Yeah, it's a big opportunity now for 4-5's going forward. Get a chicken dinner here. You set yourselves up to get potentially into Smash ruling by match 2, by the end of match 2. Very cool to see both EARENA and NONGSHIM REDFORCE. None of it was small talk at the start of the day. We're certainly looking to make it very, very difficult for any other team immediately going into match 2. Putting the worry on, requiring teams to keep tabs on them, potentially even hunt them down to keep their tournament alive. Because as soon as they smash, the game's finished. There's no longer any more opportunity to rectify those mistakes from previous days. You will just be locked in where you currently stand, which is why it's such great news that 4-5's are having such a big pop-off here on game 1.
They're bringing the heat, showing that they're handy with the steel. And for ALULA, try as they might to absorb points from this lobby. They're so far down that it's been uncomfortable. What happened there? I mean, it was danger close, mate. He got one knock onto OG, but it took down a member amongst the commotion for 4-5's.
T24 netting out for Lack, like you say, a bit of an accidental play there, but not the one you want to see. You always praise Falak's gone in an urban finish. Disastrous result here. Hyunbin though will find R3B. To send a nade over the top immediately to confirm. Is that in the window? I was going to say, that is a long lob on that one. By this time, it's a bit more difficult to hit that one. But OG lose Wizgod. He's getting picked up though, off in the distance as OG moves in, but it's Joke from the sidelines, actually finding Aru. Then harassing from this outside edge. Played that compound down towards the south side, then just playing off this ridge side around the road, but ooh, it is time to leave now.
Gonna have to force the issue, jump back behind the driving wheel and get into the zone. For OG, it's so uncomfortable because you are just being completely cut off from all angles. The back line's covered by EARENA, nades from the front in from 4-5s. They cannot peek in any regard. He's going in crazy. Okay, into the building. 4-5's ready for it. As Zypher strikes first. Sweep, sweeps under the rug. Goodbye, good night. T24 with the nade from the top. He sees Joker, but it's Lord that steals it from NIGMA Galaxy. Nade over onto Wizgod in the meantime, as well as Yasha falls to Hyunbin. It's all turning into carnage.
More man. Last left alive here. I think it's one more placing they need on this one, Jackie, as well. One more elimination would also do the trick. They want to get themselves up towards 5th place, but it would be so awful to go into match 2 1 point away from Smash ruling. Does not have a position to play though. Everyone's completely looking his way. Might have been better to hedge his bets down towards NIGMA Galaxy and just try and take a one-on-one trade. I just wonder if they actually know how many points they've currently garnered on this game and how close it gets them. You'd expect them to, right?
Honestly, for 4-5s, it's probably worked out in a way with that charge in.
Oh, no!
Oh, mate, the nade
Goodbye,
Well, they're on it. They're on it. So
Top 10
6
money.
points is fine. We're good.
They're safe for now. That's what they needed.
Nice.
And with Schweppes charging into that compound, he gave them some extra ammunition. They were having to make concessions, Blank. You can see about 80 rounds of 5.56 left for us. They've been able to restock up. NONGSHIM, though, still making plays, and they got loads of ammo to spray with. Shots down on target from XCY. Hits onto another man. OG, you have just been trapped, taking punch after punch for so long. They're punch drunk in the back line.
Now for NONGSHIM REDFORCE is where all the storylines converge. Chicken dinner would be ideal, but a few more eliminations in the 2nd place would get them in towards that position. A pitch battle between NONGSHIM REDFORCE as well as EARENA going straight into match 2. Good nade over the top from AKOP opens up the door here for them to move in. Zypher leaning onto this one. AKOP's down, leaving just Wizgod. Goodness me, NIGMA Galaxy still going. It's Lord of all people. Oh, finally taken out, but top 3 now. NONGSHIM REDFORCE ever closer to a chicken dinner and set themselves up alongside with EARENA at the top.
But now it all goes down to the 2 squads that were in a... They charge up onto the compound. T24 top side. Zypher rearming himself. Shotgun to play with as they come charging through the door, so easy. Dashes the nade onto the lower levels, wants to ascend up. Nade in, masking some of the sound. So easy to peek this. Looking for the 3rd angle, just through the window, catches the glimpse, but they read it right. They try and keep him back. He's got to heal.
XZY, got to be a good nade through the window. Good damage off the back of that one. The burst is lovely. The play zone will take down Zypher. And NONGSHIM REDFORCE start the day off with a chicken dinner. Can they grab another after this? They close down the entire tournament. They've got REDFORCE, they've got Daka. This team looks good.
NONGSHIM have seen red, and the aggression has come out when it's needed. Fighting harder, pulling out
As a
huge
group of
eliminations on
game,
Rondo and still playing so consistent with their setups.
I mean, a technical back-to-back as well from yesterday. Last Miramar into first Rondo. NONGSHIM is just a different beast coming into these last 2 days of finals. Especially coming off such a long eight-game day set into day 3. You're in the finals. It's getting nerve-wracking. You just open with a chicken dinner. These guys must be so confident.
They don't look rattled. They don't look bothered whatsoever by the sheer pressure that's on their shoulders. We know there's going to be a new champion, and NONGSHIM are eyeing up that trophy. They want it branded with their organization, their legacy. And if they keep this up, Blank, there is a decent chance they damn well do it.
Just fantastic stuff. Good to see NIGMA guys as well. Lord stepping up right at the end there. 4Thrives also making some more aggressive plays, which is great to see. They had some familiar faces. I think a fairly big deal, but OG also getting it towards a late game. I think NIGMA guys also was very resilient that game to get where they did from where they were playing, so difficult, and then Lord able to sneak his way in.
Oh man, you were bigging up Lord earlier into the tournament, right? Saying it's the fact that you've got Coops and Lord. That sort of collective in unison that's doing so much for this team. And again, there, in a situation where it felt like you were... Lord goes off with a solo shenanigans. Oh yeah.
Hey, do you know what that is?
He's got the brand on the go, mate.
That is the stamp to get into the winners club. NONGSHIM fighting. We'll be back soon.
Hi everyone, I'm Rick. Continue to build together around the world. Yet, we are still fully committed to this battle ground. We are continuing to invest more resources, improve the experience, mobile to more players in more. Faster, save more storage, and reduce the burden on their devices. That is why we are creating PUBG Mobile Lite. PUBG Mobile Lite is a lighter version of PUBG Mobile, built for players who want a faster and more flexible way to enter the battleground. The initial download is only around 1 GB on Android and under 2 GB on iOS. There is no extra mandatory package before your first match. Once the download is complete, you can load in, get straight into the battleground. We also made PUBG Mobile Lite more flexible. You can choose which extra modules to download based on how you like to play. At the same time, PUBG Mobile Lite is still connected to the PUBG Mobile experience. The class
शिक्षक आन्दोलनहरु पनि केटा शैक्षिक आन्दोलन पहिलो संसार भनेर स्टार डेको हेलो भाइ हेलो
But we also got to talk about NONGSHIM REDFORCE because they were the winners of this match, Max, and they played that out perfectly. And I think they might have been able to also pass that threshold.
Yeah, like of course GG4 thrives, but NONGSHIM REDFORCE doing so much parkour in the cities, swiping every other team under the rug, and actually they're trying to aim for 122. I believe they did make it. We'll check out the leaderboards very soon. But NONGSHIM REDFORCE giving EARENA an absolute run for their money, and it is today.
It might happen today, and something that might happen today is that we might see teams that might not be challenging for that first place putting up great performances, and we saw that exactly out of GODLIKE. This squad came to play. This squad has absolutely nothing to lose, Slays, because they were going after elimination. Actually, before we even talk about GODLIKE, I want to see what the overall is looking like, where the teams are currently standing, how far away some of the other teams are from there. NONGSHIM REDFORCE is actually in first place with 123 points. Now we have two teams that are able to win in the next match.
Oh my goodness, by the way, EARENA should also be covered, I'm pretty sure, because they are also in the smash zone. You just need to get above or tie 122 points. So if NONGSHIM REDFORCE or EARENA now, Lace, get a chicken dinner, that's it, tournament over, and we will be crowning our champions.
I know, and it's so incredibly exciting because both of these teams, especially when it comes to those sort of placement points, look at NONGSHIM at 40 placement points, EARENA with 34. They have every opportunity and drive to be able to secure that chicken dinner. Early game. Another 4 as they sort of rotate in on that northeast side. And then S-Power recovering the team to bring them back in. But I want to give like a kind of a little special shout out to Admino having an absolute banger of a game too. I think it was about 7 eliminations just by themselves, and they were able to sort of scout and hold that, and just getting like that 15 elimination points on the board is insanity, especially from where they were sitting earlier today.
But I want to check real quick the rankings. We did see for a quick second there. 11 points away for 4 thrives now. Jumping around from the middle pack. 11 points away from top 3. The comeback is happening.
This is what I keep saying. This is
4 thrives comeback?
Yeah.
4 thrives comeback?
Yeah.
Because this team, I actually got a chance to talk with for life. If you want to check that out, go to my Instagram at the 7WG. But we're now seeing the race to smash. There you go. You see 4 thrives, 23 points away, which this is a perfect start for that team, getting more than 15 eliminations, getting in the top 2, and now they are just 23 points away. And if we know anything for this squad, with the way that they're playing, with what we have seen out of them in PMGO Season 1 this year, they could make it in the next match, as long as one of the 2 teams at the top don't end up winning it.
Well, exactly, So this is the case, this is the scenario where, you know, neither of those teams, NONGSHIM or EARENA, they don't win next match. We do go into Game 3. If 4 thrives are allowed another good win, I say allowed because we don't want any hot dropping going on. They might get targeted, you never know. However, if they're allowed one more game, if we do go into Game 3, 4 thrives need another top 5. They need another several points, 8, 9 elimination rotations. There we go.
Yeah.
Another few of those, and they are in Smash ruling. They are a contender, and they could just do a back-to-back global win.
And I think we did end up getting today, Maxman. I think we might have gotten a Maxman grenade on the day.
Oh, really? Did we now? It's time for your favorite segment of the day. It's Maxman's Grenade of today. Let's check it out. Which play is going to be here? It's going to be in the city. This 4 thrives. It's Falak over there looking for a KOP. He gets it done right away. The man is an absolute menace. But he's too much of a menace because T24 had to take him down. Oh!
Give him a boom boom back to the lobby. It's Max Grenade of the day. That's some background music for you, Max.
That was a great. We got the drums, we got the jingle too. But yeah, for that team, I mean, overall, it's a great start here for the final day of PMWC at EWC 26. A great performance out of those teams that we were expecting a good performance out of, right? We talked about already EARENA having to do what they needed to do. Now NONGSHIM being able to show up when they needed to show up, starting off great here with the win as well. One thing that we do need to talk about is possibly this team's being targeted. When I say being targeted, I don't mean getting a hot drop right away, but we are going to be looking at those rotations, because if we look at EARENA, EARENA has 2 wins so far this PMWC in Erangel, and in the finals, EARENA has already gotten 1 win in day 1, match 3.
Spider-Man. eSports World Cup.
Right here, right now, with one single chicken dinner.
That's all it's going to take. We saw NONGSHIM just do it. Can they pull it out the bag again? But it's not just those two teams. As the desk, as Blank and Jackie were saying before as well, there are other teams waiting in the wings, now staged with the points that they earned from that previous game, from that rondo, to jump into the smash zone. There are probably at least 6 teams that can do it this match and join them. So if we don't get one of those smash chicken dinners, it is going to get hotter and hotter as the day goes on, because I don't think we're only going to see 2 teams breaking that barrier today.
Yeah, I'm glad we were able to get on the cast here for it to at least cast one game, right?
Absolutely.
This is absolutely insane here. My hopes and dreams are coming true. Could we see 6, 7 teams in the smash zone with one single squad that could win it? That would be insane. At the same time though, right? You gotta stop these 2 squads, because if EARENA or NONGSHIM REDFORCE win right here, that's it. This tournament is over, and one of them is walking away with $500,000.
Hey man, I caught Coach Pecco for NIGMA Galaxy on the walk over to the caster booth just now, and he was saying, I asked him, hey, you gonna target? And he was like, if we know it's them, things might get a little bit nice. Hey, you know, I can't say, but yeah, I feel like that is the sort of situation where teams who are certainly below those top 2 will really hard commit if they find one of these teams in a fight. The third-party targeting will definitely be high on the menu for a lot of these teams.
It has to be. It really does. I got a chance to talk to Knight, as a matter of fact, the coach from FURIA, and because in Brazil, these guys have had so much practice when it comes to the Smash ruling. FURIA themselves have smashed in multiple of their regional tournaments. So I was talking to them. I was like, hey, exactly the same question, right? If you see a couple teams in the Smash zone, will you guys go out of your way to take them out? And they said, well, at a certain point, we have to. You know what I'm saying? We know what's at stake. If we have to risk a bad game to ensure that we can continue in this tournament to possibly come back, we're going to do it, right? So even if it's a crash and we lose the fight, we're taking a couple of those players with us. So the whole lobby, honestly, really needs to have that kind of same mentality, because if you want to be able to move up the leaderboards, there are massive jumps in prize pools as we go from 3rd, 4th, 5th place. So you want to be able to stay in this tournament as long as possible, and this one's going to be a fun one. We got a nice Eastern Circle.
I don't know about nice. It's certainly an Eastern Circle, though. It's going to push all the way out towards Milta, east of it, and Milta Power. Lepovka's in there as well. A lot of water here, Jukes. So that is going to be tricky to navigate. NIGMA Galaxy will not be getting hot drop currently, but Ulf might try and step in. Ida clashing with TIANBA over on the western side. A very, very close drop.
And of course, we got... and they're going to go ahead and be looting all this north side of Georgeville Hospital area. And since it is such an Eastern Circle, right, I wonder how much these teams are going to be kind of even thinking about possibly a rotation camp. Things like that are going to start coming into play here. And yeah, man, this is going to get intense.
Yeah, a lot of teams looking to put pressure on as the fight near Gatka between Ida and TIANBA is still popping off. Remember, this is an adjustment from Ida to move out this way with the plane path as south as it was. They are going to get stuck straight in with TIANBA, and neither team is looking super happy about it. Aching on the inside of the building. Swain on the top floor now has Eagle to contend with as well. Drops a nade down to the ground floor. He tries to fend off the remaining 2 players. QZZ unlikely to get picked back up here. Does bleed out in the end. And a step forwards. Swain rebuffs. One more barrel, but it's not enough to blast it back. TIANBA survived, but with only 2 players. And HORAA can just move in and maybe just sweep this one through. A very strange hot drop coming through over on Gatka.
Terrible. I mean, honestly, Ida's disrupted this lobby so much, and TIANBA are devastated. Now down to just 2 single players. Aching jumps out, just desperate, trying to do something for his squad, and Eagle is just standing still, just saying, like, not like this. Not like this.
HORAA have been a little bit quieter during the course of these finals. Not the fans, that is, the players. The fans have been plenty loud and we've loved it, but they haven't quite had the performance that we were maybe expecting from them coming into the games in these finals. It's not going to be enough. I don't see them catching up when we've already got two teams in that smash zone. It is a bit unfortunate. It is not great, but they can look pretty good in game. We know that. And one of the ways that you can look good in game at home is with the Naruto skins. Make sure you're heading into game to pick up the character sets, the Ninetales Fury org, and you can look as good as anyone taking on those ninja challenges.
Yeah, get that ninjutsu going. And honestly, yeah, it seems like Aura, OG, they're going to need to bust some of that out if they want to be able to make a crazy run for it. Mathematically, it is still possible, right? If Aura, they start with 3, they're going to need a 20-point game here, a 20-point game in the next one, and maybe even another one after that.
It's triple back-to-back.
It's triple back-to-backs, you know what I'm saying? We still have enough games to do it. It's just going to be tough, especially considering that you got... There's going to be quite a few teams in that smash zone very, very quickly here. That's if this game even continues on after this one. So a lot of different factors to play out. The problem also is the fact that we get later and later into this tournament, the desperation is going to raise tremendously, right? So these teams in the mid-pack are going to even start playing hyper-aggressive because they're going to know, right? Their coaches are going to tell them, hey, man, look, you made it all the way over here to Paris, all right? You either get 20 points or this was all for nothing at a certain point, right?
Well, that's, I mean, there's still placements on the line and all of that sort of thing. I'm just looking at the map at the moment and I'm seeing that NONGSHIM REDFORCE might be in with their first fight in a moment, which is going to enlighten the rest of the lobby as to sort of where they're playing, what sort of conflicts they could be running into. A 2-2 split across Milta right now for NONGSHIM as they did not fully or firmly hold the bridge against ALULA, so that crossing does come through. And that central glut of teams, and now they start to take shots. ALULA in the hovercraft have plenty of armor to rebuff the first volley, but there's more still being flung down range, and that's going to have to divert them on the long road. They find the knock, and there's the flush. NONGSHIM REDFORCE extract the first point.
Wow, okay, so they end up getting a point on that. Pretty wild. And ALULA are in this next circle, down a player. The thing is, though, if any team nearby happen to hear those shots, they know where NONGSHIM REDFORCE is now. So that is going to be a factor, but they are in a really good spot for this circle for now.
I mean, teams should be aware, right, of where they're playing based on the fact that it was ALULA that they knocked, and NONGSHIM REDFORCE generally going to be in this sort of location. They'll know that ALULA are coming up from Novo. So it should be a pretty certain lead on it for a lot of teams in the lobby, but nobody is likely to send out this way. Maybe AURORA could try and crash into it and cause some problems. Vitality are actually holding the west bridge, which is interesting, over on that ferry pier side of things. So if AURORA decide, you know what, we're not going to go over to that east side, we're going to try and break west, Vitality is still lying in wait for it, which I'm not too sure about. I'm not sure if I like that.
Yeah, it's going to be tough here as you got some pretty wild rotations here. Speaking of wild rotations, we got NIGMA Galaxy rocking their 2-2 split.
The same again.
Same again. You know, I actually talked to Ralph a little earlier this morning. Asked him, like, hey, are you going to continue to do it? They're like, yeah, you know, it's worked for us in the past. We're going to try it out. We've noticed that on the west side, had a little bit of unluck with some pretty crazy pushes. But we're going to give it a shot here, and we'll see if it pays off for them.
I mean, they did win a chicken dinner from a circle similar to this, on a rotation similar to this. Obviously, it was a different lobby. It was a different time. We were different people, Jukes. We were so much younger.
We've grown so much.
Yeah, exactly. We've come so far. But they're going to look for that regroup at some point. Getting through for that regroup is really the difficult part that we've seen for NIGMA Galaxy on this regroup rotation. Getting through the glut of teams right now. I'm not sure how that's going to work. They may have to go on the boat, maybe head up all the way north of Lepovka and go all the way around. That would be, I mean, maybe not sensible, but possible, certainly. It's difficult, and they are going to get on the road right now to see what they can find. EARENA are also starting their move in from South George. As we can see, we're on board of them, just passing the north side of school to head towards the center of this circle as it centers up on that Milta Hill near prison and mansion.
Rotations are coming. as we are zooming in to Erangel. What kind of circle are we going to get here? All right, just beautiful center up. Very typical. A lot of these teams were expecting this, and they got it. Now you see NIGMA Galaxy, right? They're going to be on both sides of this circle. It's going to be very difficult for them to get to their teammates here, so we'll see how this pays off. But we still got some teams still trying to get in this zone. EARENA pushing in super late because they land over there in North George. AURORA still in Severny. And you got Vitality going on the other bridge here. So they're going to be super late in the circle as well.
Yeah, Vitality's still on the West Bridge. I don't like it. I think this is way too long. You're overcommitting. No one's turned up. Not too sure what the game plan was there for Vitality. Same team we saw from their unfortunate.
It's the same thing we saw in PMG too.
Yeah, it's a big drop-off, which I'm sad to see. NIGMA Galaxy, they get their back duo caught up in a regroup. This is exactly what I was worried about. It's only going to be Lord, his vehicle's on fire, and he goes down because he hops out. As it's on fire, they lose their back too. I guess, yeah, Ralph, keep doing that. See how that works out for you.
Yeah, I saw his player cam, and I could see he said, what the heck? You know, oh, what happened? How is this?
Why are there players here in the middle of the circle?
How did I get knocked?
Oh, that's crazy.
That's super unfortunate. The 2-2 split, man. I mean, losing players like that is so rough. We'll see how it all continues on, though. That's if we have another match after this, because NONGSHIM REDFORCE are on the south side of Milta, full squad, looking dangerous. On the other end, you got the other Titans of the lobby, EARENA, holding down the north side. So both these teams able to secure position as a full four-man team.
A vice grip on the circle right now. And our teams will look to try and slip that. This is a replay on Lord getting knocked. You can see he drove up. It was actually the hop out that got him. He'd already taken enough damage and hadn't slowed down enough. He hopped out of the vehicle, kept that momentum, and it was the fall. He hit that ground a little bit too fast.
The ankles.
Just rolled the ankle, man. Rolled the ankle. And now Coops and Satan have to do it all on their loans. And it's a bad time. It's a bad time. I feel like it may have worked before. Teams maybe weren't necessarily expecting something like that, and they weren't looking for a duo to be rotating in such an early fashion, especially because they know, oh, well, these players have lost, so it should be a full four come from there. But there's been enough games now when NIGMA Galaxy have done this that teams should be like, oh, yeah, that's what they do. Let's just clamp down on that.
You know, it's one of those strategies that I don't know whether to be... It's just one of those strats that's just like, okay, it's different. You know what I'm saying? We don't see
one of those bad ones, yeah. I've heard of those.
It's right? That's the thing is, like, if it does, it's like, wow, maybe more teams should try this out. But after that, it's like, I think we just stay together. You know what I'm saying? It's just unfortunate, especially considering that they're in 5th place, man. If they would have got a 20-point game here, boom, they would have been in that smash zone. Let's see where this next circle goes, though. And things are going to start heating up because we get a nice center up. EARENA are going to be over there in Lipovka, so they're going to have to fight their way into this next circle. But like you mentioned, it is a vice script right now. North and southern side is where the big threats lie. In the middle of the map, though, you got S2G, you got NIGMA Galaxy as that duo. They had four, right? It is what it is. But you got Team Flash on that ridgeline, too. That is a very, very strong spot. They can be able to hold a lot of real estate there.
That's true over on the east side, but I feel like they do need to move into the west edge of it a little bit further, which is exactly what Bo has decided to do there. They have to transition forward. The 3-building compound that sits sort of in front of them is viable, but it can be very difficult to hold against teams up on the north, especially if you get crashed. Multiple angles can crash onto it as well, so a little bit tenuous when you have to leave that ridgeline for Team Flash. For NONGSHIM, they're going to play nice and isolated on the southeast side. Remember, it's not big point scoring games that are necessary. That's not what's going to be weighing on the mind of NONGSHIM, of EARENA. It is just that chicken dinner. Be the last player standing. That's the only thing that should be running through their mind right now to try and secure that tournament title, the global stage glory.
That's interesting. That's an interesting thought. And I hope it doesn't change their play style, because I'm thinking back to PMMI where TIANBA had such a massive lead, and they kind of implored that same strategy. Like, hey, let's just put up some basic points. They had so many points, as long as nobody smashed, they were going to win it for the most part. But they changed play styles, and they paid the price for it big time, going from what we thought was going to be an automatic first to like 3rd place. So
yeah,
we'll see how NONGSHIM, who definitely learned from that, if they're going to replicate it or play the game that got them here in the first place.
4 thrives in that last match were able to ignite those afterburners, send them into the stratosphere on the point scoring. And now 4thRives want to keep that pace, but they're kind of cut out on this northwest edge. They are boxed in by that prison cliff area on the east side of them. They're going to have to pick a direction and commit. Towards Vitality may be a good idea to start, but you've got Godlike behind that, and maybe Ulf on the top, on the lip of those prison cliffs could be a target as well. But either way, it feels like a third-party target.
I can't lie, I'm so hyped for Godlike right now. After seeing that Rondo match, they put up so many points. If they would have won that fight with EARENA, it would have, who knows where they'd be on the leaderboards here. But they put themselves in a good position. They're still in 10th place, 72 points. They're gonna go for the back-to-back chicken dinner. They realize it, like, hey, we gotta get it done here. If they do, it would be the comeback of a lifetime. You know that their fans are excited. They're hyped up.
Oh, yeah.
Waiting for this next zone, and it's gonna go on over to the northeast side. And which team gets blessed here, John?
Team Flash, right? EARENA on the north side, on that road down from Lipovka. It helps them out. I wouldn't say blessed, though. I feel like they are still in a little bit of a dangerous position, especially with HORAA descending on them. Look at that eastern sweep. That could be dangerous. That could be trouble. There's Coop Stakes a knock in the meantime as well on the south side, bleeding out another player. Not good news. But HORAA, look at a crash maybe towards EARENA. I do think it is Team Flash that has been the most blessed by this zone, though. On that northeast side, it's exactly what you highlighted, right? That ridge line, the buildings in front of it, really, really good. But only if it goes out their way. Well, guess what? Here we are. And now S2G try and push in. They're being denied access as HORAA clash with 4thRives, who have, okay, they've lapped over the north side of prison, and they're third-partying on the rotate here on the north.
Fights happening all over the place. Now we're going to be looking at NIGMA Galaxy. Satan, all by himself, going to be challenging ALULA here as we switch over. 4thRives get eliminated. That is a huge loss right before the 100-point mark. There goes NIGMA Galaxy as well. That's 5th and 6th out.
And now AURORA up, trying to sweep past NONGSHIM REDFORCE. As HORAA picking up those points is a great result for them. 7 eliminations now on the north side, right next to EARENA, who take a knock as well. Turney K has gone down. S2G battling for the middle of it and taking damage from every single angle. Ulf will do a lot of damage to them, but S2G managed to weather that storm. A lot of damage across the board on these rotates, Jukes.
And then here we go. We're going to catch this fight here as S2G are hurt. Vitality very, very close near to them. And it was OG that are putting up some points on the board. They end up getting one. Kamikaze on the other end. Now finally the fight has calmed down, but this is a battle for the central position in this circle.
I mean, this is another team, S2G, who is within reach of that smash point barrier up to 122, but they have just had the win taken out their sails. 113 right now. They need to get 9 more points on this match, and with 11 more teams alive as a solo Kamikaze, has he got something magic up his sleeve? I do not think so, which is going to leave AURORA to really be the only challengers to that smash point duo.
And AURORA are definitely a threat, that's for sure. 110 points, 12 is super easy for them to get in this kind of position. They're gonna have to fight their way through it though. CS Power getting a knock from Godlike. They're down to 2 players, and that is WizGod gonna get that confirmation on 2 Power. Only 1 player up left for Godlike.
Oh, EARENA did manage to just roll over to the ridgeline there on the shoreline. But Mormon's been spotted. Okay, Sky is still going. And the EARENA not safe yet, not out of the woods. As Godlike and Orangutan still continue to clash. Up the stairs, Godlike. Look for it, but the drop down is caught. And there's the crash. Here it is. Take one down and the EARENA fall. Only one team can stop it all now. NONGSHIM with a big opportunity on the south side, but they're right on the edge.
The whole lobby breathing a sigh of relief now that at least one of the Titans is gone. It's still up to NONGSHIM REDFORCE though. They're on the south side, playing carefully, waiting in the shadows to strike. It's only a matter of time here. They're saying, yeah, you guys fight it out. But you better watch out.
Ooh, a big south shift, and ALULA are looking tasty for NONGSHIM. Look, they're already in those vehicles. XZY wanting to keep Overwatch on the angle as well. Maybe take some shots out that way. How fast mount up because Flash have already regrouped to the triple stack buildings on the north side of this next part of the circle. The west edge with Furia and Orangutan also needs to conclude and try and find a way down the hill. The Deadwood is so hard to navigate though. There are these really tricky defilades and there are players lying in wait.
Speaking of lying in wait, yeah, you can see NONGSHIM REDFORCE. They don't want to give away their position. They don't want the lobby to know where they're at right now, so they're playing it very, very quietly. So take a look at this replay. Schweppes, popping them out the vehicle, but the crash from Aura, so strong here. And they shut down EARENA. Huge fight for the whole lobby.
Absolutely. EARENA remain on 122 as well. Doesn't mean they can't win it all next match. They are still in the smash boundary.
Yes, they are.
So even if NONGSHIM get 30 points and don't win the chicken dinner, they could still take it all away with a 0 E limit.
AURORA want to put themselves in the smash zone here now, though.
Oh, yeah.
Here they go. They're going to start pushing, trying to find a position. They got the wizard tower. Are they going to take it? Nope, pass it up and decide to go for this hill line here. Good strategy. Got to be careful, though, with those shots from Flash.
Yeah, there's...
Throwing down some smoke. I like how they put one vehicle in front of the other, so they at least sacrificed one, but they should be able to hold on to at least another one here in the second.
They're going to have to pick a point to go, and I feel like Short Team Flash can be taking shots right now, but the west side is going to have to conclude, and fairly quickly. Someone is going to look to crash Team Flash. I can guarantee you that at some point in this match.
Yeah.
But it may be a little bit longer than we were anticipating. I mean, as I said, the Deadwoods have a lot of those defilades, the hills that slope down from the top of this ridgeline. This tree cover has a lot of rocks to play around. You can sort of stutter your way forwards a little bit, but later on you're gonna have to find something. Oh, spot over onto Doc. They know who they're fighting now.
Well, they will once that thirst happens.
There it is.
And there it is. So now they know 100% NONGSHIM REDFORCE is right here. AURORA are going to put every single amount of their resources to make sure they can stop them.
It may well be worth it with all the teams around them going down fairly quickly. Just sitting here waiting for NONGSHIM to roll out, stepping through, sacrificing shots to Team Flash. They may look to try and just block the road, shut the door in the face of a smash victory here in match number 2 today, match 14 on the series.
To be fair, this is going to be a very tough win for NONGSHIM to get. They're in a really, really tough spot here. They are on the edge of the circle. That broken wall is covering them for now, but this next zone is going to make things interesting. But here we go with a huge battle. It's FURIA versus OG. FURIA in 8th place right here. They need the win. Oh, that nade looks good. That should get a confirmation. It doesn't, some way, somehow. Bad nade there, but all of a sudden, they are able to get some knocks. Silence is going to go into the building, eating some blue zone. FURIA are getting peppered. Little by little, he gets away with just 1 HP.
Oh, WizGod steps out. He's looking for more. He's got the shotgun shells under the car. The blue zone's ticking, but it's not going to matter. WizGod strikes back against FURIA, but now HORAA here, and he's got a sliver of HP to play around with. They'll know he's here, and fear rolls over the top of the hill.
Didn't see him.
What? He didn't see him. He'll should hear that. No! With his back to it. Will take the shot, but not find the knock. And he will be put down. In the meantime, the roller from NONGSHIM.
And they're off. Here they go. NONGSHIM REDFORCE on the rotation, trying to find a spot in this zone. Tires get popped. Team Flash knocked down Tizzy. It's up to the 2 players from NONGSHIM to end this tournament.
XZY trying to regroup now on the back. The reloads are coming through, and he may be able to sneak his way into the dip. And AURORA now have NONGSHIM set before them. A gauntlet to run through, and then one that they will charge in headlong. Nades first. Zul, Reefus. And wants this retribution. Draw this game to a close without a smash point victory.
AURORA throwing an absolute bombardment onto NONGSHIM REDFORCE. They know they're the threat. They're going to use every single piece of utility they have to finish this team off once and for all. Not able to find those other confirmations. Vehicles are getting moved out the way, though. That's the coverage that NONGSHIM REDFORCE desperately need. Looks like they're playing a little game of ping pong with that car.
Oh, but AURORA starting to suffer as well. They have to move forwards, and now they're in the firing line of Team Flash. It may well be enough to stop NONGSHIM from winning the game, though, and that seems to be what they were trying to bid for. All the while, by the way, Kamikaze is still alive, so can't discount him just yet for getting the points that he may need. It would be a very long road, though. Hyunbin and So Easy now find the final blow. Struck to the heart of AURORA. who draw their game out on 113. They will fall to no smash. Not here, not now.
We're gonna see a game 3, folks. Get excited, get hyped, because now's the chance for a lot of these teams to start up the leaderboards.
How far can you go here, though? I mean, for Team Flash, this is a golden opportunity to jump up placement points, to jump up and get a little bit more cash under the belt, be a higher ranking finisher. They have all 4 of their players alive. They're looking pretty chill. As I said before, S2G do have the slimmest of opportunities. For me, it's Kamikaze needing to grab some third-party points off a fight that Team Flash has.
Yeah, he's just trying to sneak enough points to sneak his team into that smash zone. Any point matters, though. I really got to give some major love, though, to Aura. Look at them. 13 eliminations. This team is trying to make a comeback of a lifetime, and this is how you do it. Got to get this win, though. Anything less is not going to be enough for them to make that race to the top.
I mean, even when you do get it, it's still a long, long road for them to try and find. For Kamikaze, he needs to profit 6 more points on this match. Those can come from either increasing placements or getting eliminations to join that smash point bubble. But this next circle comes in, it's not going to have him in it. It does push Flash into into a few of their locations, but it looks like they've spotted him. Kamikaze is there, they roll up, he's put down, and no longer do we have that storyline. The battle at the bottom of the tables rings true for the final 4 here.
This is huge. Everyone's trying to move up their placement here. Like, again, this is a massive prize pool. Every single placement up is big money in the bank. Aura, though, this is the game of a lifetime for them. This is one of those opportunities that gets your squad excited, gets them pumped up to finally start putting everything on the line. You can see Team Flash, though, they're in the mix here. Aura trying to push from the edge of the circle. They're going to start throwing all their util onto Vitality. That's the threat. If they can hold that rock and secure that position, this could be a solid chicken dinner for them.
Absolutely. A big chance. As the nades keep on going forwards. 13 eliminations on side, and they want to add 2 more to the tally. Sky and Jiggle into the fight. Razak goes down first, immediately putting him out of business, out of action. Sky looks for more as well, and they turn it on. It's just too hot.
Aura are on fire. 15 eliminations, but that nade looks dangerous. Gotta watch out. That one hurt, and now it's up to Sky. All by himself. ALULA looking to stop the insanity that Aura has put on display here. Here they come. Yasser moving up close and personal to be able to secure this high ground. Team Flash on the other end, putting some suppressive fire onto them as well. Aura just trying to lick their wounds, trying to find their way, but it ain't gonna be enough. That is Aura down to 1 single player.
I like Team Flash's proactivity here. They didn't waste time. They didn't hide in the buildings. They stretched their legs and moved out towards this north side to get control of the zone. This is what we've wanted to see from a lot of our teams, and I'm glad to see it now, even if it is potentially a little bit too little too late. For them, they've got 10 eliminations here, so Aura, they're on 15, but there is a real chance that they could catch up. A Sky is still cooking an 8, and ALULA are gonna have to worry. Okay, he puts it back to the shotgun shell.
He's not moving a muscle here, and I don't think ALULA realizes that he's even still there. They have to know there could be a threat in this area. But Quick is just hopping in the vehicle to get a little bit of extra third-person perspective and get some sight lines. Plus, he's protected in there. He has no idea. They have no idea he's there. Hello! He missed the shots, though! Sky gets the knock, but gets shot in the back as Win from Team Flash shuts down Aura's run.
Pretty mighty flub there on the shotgun. Hot over the bonnet there. Probably didn't realize, but Quick didn't know he was there and thought, oh, well, I'm gonna have to go for the fight. He's gonna stand up for it, right? Right? Not to be. Ooh, a cheeky little pick onto Zeus, and actually, Bose is quite low. Over the top, though, Tops and Win look to put pressure onto Quick, and remember, ALULA only really have 2 players to play around with here, Claws and Yasser. Looking to navigate closer to the middle for Yasser, but Flash can regroup on 3. Claws has a lot to face down on his lonesome here on this angle. Needs a big nade, needs to find a knock pretty immediately, and is already taken down. Win steps through with the AUG, puts that one to bed, and a second volley of fire over the top of the rock sees Team Flash to the chicken dinner.
I'll take that one, that's for sure. Over 20 points in that game. A massive one for them. I guarantee you, their coaches, everybody was telling them, right, hey, this is what you need to do if you want to make a run of it. And this is a start, right? This is a start. It's still a long road ahead, but now the road is there. You know what I'm saying? It had to happen in this game, and they got it done.
That's what you need to do. When that clock strikes, you've got to hear the call and step up to that plate. Unfortunate that NONGSHIM and EARENA couldn't really get much further into that one. That AURORA hold on the eastern side, it stopped them really from being able to break out in the way that they wanted to. Flash were an incredible suppressive force over the course of a lot of that final set of circles. So really, really great stuff from them. But had played that slightly in a different fashion.
बाबा लगे चला अच्छा La 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 la.
But those teams that would close out the win. We're sort of seeing this trend now, and of course they wanted points to hit that kind of smash.
Hora eSports.
But they weren't.
Couple for the massive guys, top 10 में भी आते हैं हमको
those teams that would close out the win. We're sort of seeing this trend now, and of course they want to sort of get those elims and sponge those points to hit that kind of smash roll threshold. But in then, it's still if you
private limited, nice. कारोबार को नाम Qiddiya PC Farm. मैले चाहिँ गर्दिनँ अफिसको जहिले चाहिँ गर्दिनँ कसको अडिट गर्नुपर्ने